there is a sinister force hiding in a haunted cabinet.
Oh my God. Look! Look right there. See?
When Rob and I were looking at the footage, seeing the black shadow and the things coming out of the cabinet, we knew there was something.
A hand pulled the curtain back, and the bed was torn up.
We knew what we were watching was real.
And when the evil is set free, it will steal your heart and your soul.
James, where are you?
It's like being in a dream you can't wake up.
I was just losing him. He was definitely not the man that I knew.
I don't need you!
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
I did second guess coming for an interview because there's so many people that don't believe in the spirit world. But after everything we've been through, people need to be more aware. I know what happened to me and my boyfriend was real. I lived it. I now know true evil. It exists.
It was just another normal day in the life of Sandy Elkins and James Hilton. The couple had now been dating 3 years, and although Sandy didn't live with James, she stayed over a few nights a week.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. How are you?
Good. Good.
Good to see you.
Sandy, she's just a lot of fun to be around. We hit it off right off the bat. We like the same things. We just love each other.
Ah, looks like you made great progress.
So I did some sanding, and I'm gonna put another stain on there and then redo that. I think it'll look good.
I worked at the Jonesboro Pizza Parlor, and James worked upstairs in the barber shop, and that's how we met. And we dated for a lot of years.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Hey, I got a surprise for you.
Oh, you do?
But that spring would be anything but ordinary.
Oh, is that it?
What do you think?
We love antiques, hunting antiques. We do that every chance we get. We just go out and look for antiques.
Well, it's bigger than I expected, but so beautiful. What a great find.
The cabinet was handmade.
It looked like old barnwood, double front doors, small shelves on the outside of it, and then shelving on the inside like just a normal cabinet would have on the inside.
I can't believe Stephanie didn't want it.
I know.
James's daughter had worked with a lady, and she gave her the cabinet. So she asked James if he would like to have the cabinet, and he said sure. And we don't know where it actually came from.
A few hours later, the cabinet is home.
Okay, to the right. A little bit more. Oh, perfect, perfect. Well, looks like it used good cleaning. I'll go get the furniture polished.
We put the cabinet in his bedroom.
We talked about putting it in the living room at first, and but then we figured that'd be better in the bedroom beside the bed. That way I could store clothes in it. The door could open on its own. You know, it's an old cabinet, something's out of kilter, or, you know, maybe humidity in the door might be warped a little bit or something.
Later that day, Sandy finishes moving James's belongings into the cabinet.
There. Perfect.
When I would go over to James's house, I tried to make it homey.
James? Were you doing something in here?
What are you talking about?
Well, this wasn't like this a minute ago. Oh, darn. Look, it cracked.
I didn't touch it at all.
She'd walked back in a few minutes later, and everything that she'd put up there was off in the floor. I said, I've not even been in there.
And I just kind of laughed it off. Sure, you know, thought he had, but he just didn't want to admit it.
That's weird. Okay, well, I think I'm about done for the night.
One afternoon, Sandy finds herself alone in the house.
I started feeling like somebody was watching me. I was very nervous about being alone there.
Everything's fine.
Sandy keeps her uneasy feelings to herself. But not for long. Something in the house has been unleashed.
It was just like a loud knock, a thump up under the bed, and it just terrified me. I knew something was there.
Unbeknownst to James Hilton and his girlfriend Sandy, the antique cabinet he recently acquired is haunted.
What's wrong?
Felt something under the bed. It looked like a man.
I had looked up, and I saw a shadow figure. When I yelled, it just disappeared.
She said there was like, she could feel something under the bed, like pushing up. She said, don't ever leave me in here again by myself. She was upset.
I think something's going on in this house. I think this house is haunted.
You're just overreacting. Everything's fine.
Everything is not fine!
James wouldn't admit to anything actually being wrong.
You probably had a bad dream. Everything's fine.
I'm telling you, something is going on. I'll prove it to you. This. We're gonna use this. We're gonna set it up, and we'll see what happens.
I tried to figure out what was going on in the house, so I set up a video camera. I knew it had to do with the cabinet because nothing had happened before then.
For days, the couple leaves the camera running while they are at work, hoping for proof. And one evening, they come home to a shocking surprise.
What in the world? James, did you do this?
Oh my God, no. Why would I do this?
We could see the cabinet doors were open, his clothes were thrown out.
Everything was out in the floor, just completely all over the bedroom. The bedspread and everything was pulled back.
The camera. We gotta check the video.
The couple scrolls through hours of videotape. Then, they spot it.
My God. Look. Look right there. See?
At 10:08 a.m., they see the cabinet doors open on their own, and some clothes being thrown out. Then at 10:11 a.m., they see the curtain being pulled back. And a few seconds later, the bedspread sliding off.
It's like a hand that pulled the curtain back and the bed was torn up. That was really unnerving because there's really something there. That was the moment that I realized James' house was haunted.
There is something going on. Ever since you brought this thing home, weird things have been happening.
But even after watching the video, James has a hard time believing.
Honey, come on. What are you saying?
I couldn't explain what was happening in my house, but I wouldn't admit that it was paranormal.
What? You don't believe me? It's right there in the proof. Right there.
Well, we're not getting rid of it. You're overreacting.
I was trying to tell her, I said, I think it's gonna be all right, no big deal, not to worry about it.
Well, I'm not staying here tonight. I don't feel safe here.
James did not want to admit that the house was haunted. There was a big strain on our relationship because he just couldn't see that something was really wrong.
Over the next few days, Sandy avoids spending time at the house.
I heard something. I didn't feel right about any of it. Nothing was in there.
Ever since James Hilton brought an antique cabinet into his home, the house has come alive with paranormal activity. Although James and his girlfriend Sandy have both sensed a presence,
out of the corner of my eye, I just see something move. And it was like a figure of a man standing there. I looked up, it was gone.
little do they know, there are two entities inhabiting the cabinet. A spirit and something much darker and more evil. One evening, Sandy drops by to check in on him.
Hey, babe. What you doing? You know what? I'm so excited. My coworker friend told me about this antique mall that just opened up. And that'd be fun to go this weekend. What do you think?
I thought it was very strange the way James was acting.
James? James?
It's as if he's become obsessed with the cabinet.
Sandy said my attitude changed. It was kind of like I wasn't, it's like in a daze.
Huh? Oh, sure. Whatever you want to.
I really didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do to help him.
Over the next few days, James grows even more detached.
James, he changed during all of this. He was just hateful. He didn't want to be around anybody. I just felt like I was just losing him. He was definitely not the man that I knew.
One afternoon, Sandy receives a series of text messages. They're from James.
Then things just kind of got weird, and I would get texts from him.
What is that?
You couldn't tell what the words were. And then it started getting a lot worse. I've got the message that would say, cry, cry. And then it said, he's mine.
Come on, answer.
I would try to call him back, couldn't get any answer.
James, it's me. Pick up. I'm really worried about you. Come on now. I'm really worried.
I was freaked out, very so. I was very panicked.
Come on. James? James! Where are you? James! Are you upstairs? James! James, I've been trying to call you. What are all these text messages about? Are you okay? Answer me!
What are you talking about?
It was like I was having a dream. And then when you wake up, you can remember bits and pieces of it. And it's like, is this actually happening? I wasn't thinking right at all. It wasn't like me thinking.
James, I'm worried about you. What's going on? Talk to me. You're not yourself. This house, this cabinet, something bad's going on here. I can feel it.
I did think he was becoming evil. I think it had already taken over him. It was taking his spirit.
I'm just being my real self. Just leave me alone. I don't need you. Do you hear me? I don't need you!
Oh my God. Look!
Sandy Elkins is convinced that her boyfriend James's antique cabinet is haunted, and that whatever entity lives inside the cabinet is attempting to possess him.
Just leave me alone. I don't need you. I don't need you!
James's eyes turned completely black. When you're so close to someone and you see that something is actually taking over their mind and their body, it's very terrifying.
Oh my God. James, your eyes.
What are you talking about? I'm fine.
It felt like you was trapped there and you couldn't really figure a way to get out. It's like being in a dream, you can't wake up.
Get out of here! You hear me? I want you to leave me alone!
I think that was just about the breaking point.
Terrified for James, Sandy knows she must do something. She conducts research and comes across a prayer used to calm spirits.
Be strong in the Lord and the strength of his might. Put up all your armor to God so that you can be strong and stand up to the devil.
I felt like if I had that prayer and just kept saying it over and over, I felt like it may work. And I just tried everything I could.
Lord, fill this house with your light and your love. Amen.
Sandy, is that you? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
Sandy is in disbelief. The prayer appears to have broken the entity's hold over James.
He kind of snapped out of it. He woke up and knew that something was going on. It was like it lost some of the power it had over him.
I actually felt like I was back, that I'd actually woke up.
But for how long?
Hey, don't cry. What's wrong?
It's this house, James. It's making you crazy.
What are you talking about?
I was really confused during that time. I still feel confused a lot about it.
Your eyes were jet black. Something in this house is trying to take you over. We need help.
I'm so sorry to put you through this. Whatever you want to do.
James agreed to let someone come in and kind of check things out, see what was going on. I was becoming very desperate.
As soon as Sandy contacts them, Paranormal Technology Investigations of Jonesboro, Tennessee, agrees to take on the case.
I didn't know who else to turn to. I had never experienced anything like this, so they were kind of like our only hope.
What is it?
I don't know, but whatever it isn't good. Let's get set up.
Rob Phillips and co-founder Kathy Shepard are both paranormal investigators and sensitives.
Sandy came to us asking for help with the investigation. She knew that something was going on with this cabinet. She knew something was going on with James. Sandy was very terrified for James. You could tell that she was very anxious to get something done with this. She wanted to get this took care of immediately.
And what's more, Sandy has sent the team the video of the haunted cabinet.
When we watched the footage of their video, we knew they were telling the truth, and we knew what we were watching was real.
Seeing the black shadow and the things coming out of the cabinet, we knew there was something. It wasn't just hearsay. We were seeing it on the camera. It was real. We were concerned that there's something there that was taking James over, and we needed to act on it right away.
We'll start with a walkthrough and an EVP session. We'll start in the bedroom, since that's where you said you've noticed the most activity. Do you have any questions?
No, I think we're just ready to put this all behind us.
During the investigation, I'm conducting the EVP session, and Kathy's recording in night vision with the camera.
It's 8:32 p.m. We're about to start the walkthrough of James and Sandy's home.
EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon.
We're trying to contact anyone who is in the house.
During the EVP session, the questions that we were asking, we were trying to find out the nature of the entity. We wanted to know if it was human or demonic.
Can you tell me your name?
We wanted to know what it wanted with James.
When we walked into the room, you knew there was something there. And as the room was just heavy, it didn't feel like light in the other rooms. There's a difference there. There's like even like a temperature difference in both rooms.
And the closer you get to the cabinet, the stronger that feeling becomes. It would be darker, heavier, and it was like, by the time you got completely back to the cabinet, it was like you had 1,000 pounds of weight on you.
Do you belong to the cabinet? Was it yours when you were alive? What do you want with James?
He's mine. Did you hear that? He's mine.
We had got an EVP that said, "He is mine." And then we knew that this entity was talking about and targeting James.
Suddenly, Rob is hit by a vision of both entities haunting the cabinet.
Get away from me! Do you hear me? Get away from me!
One is the ghost of the old man James and Sandy may have sensed in the house, while the other is the more threatening and evil entity. It's a demon. paranormal investigator Rob Phillips has just seen the two entities haunting James Hilton's home. One is a human spirit, while the other is pure evil.
I don't have the best news for you.
What? What is it? It's that cabinet, isn't it?
Yes, I believe there's a demon attached to the cabinet.
Oh my God.
Hearing that it was a demon, it was a very scary experience. You feel totally helpless. You can't see what's going on. You don't know what to expect next. You're lost to it.
The cabinet was created as a holding place for a demonic spirit. It's similar to a Dybbuk box.
What do you mean?
From Jewish mythology, a Dybbuk refers to a malicious entity that possesses the living. A Dybbuk box is built to contain it.
It's basically a vessel. It's used to capture and hold an evil spirit, a demon, to prevent it from doing harm to others.
I had a vision. I saw the cabinet. It was created. It was made by hand to hold the demon captive, to keep him prisoner, to prevent him from hurting anyone else.
I saw this man making this cabinet, and then he was performing some type of a ritual, and he banished the demon into the cabinet.
I do conjure and constrain thee, demon, by thy name. I banish thee to this vessel!
We believe this is what you saw, James, and what you felt in the bed. The spirit of the man who made the cabinet. He was trying to warn you both.
I believe the human spirit is a good spirit. It's the man trying to warn James and Sandy that there's something evil there, something very demonic there.
How do we get rid of it?
We need to get rid of the cabinet, but we can't burn it or destroy it. We need to remove it from the home and keep it someplace safe.
But first, the team must perform a blessing on James, cleanse the home, and force the demon back into the cabinet.
James, the demon is focused on you. It's oppressing you. It's trying to possess you. If we don't force this demon back into the cabinet, it will try and take your soul.
If this cabinet hadn't been dealt with, it would have probably ended up taking James's life.
It was real terrifying. When I finally realized what was going on, this is serious, what you got here. If you'd have stayed there much longer, it would have probably killed you. That's how bad it got. I took it serious then. I said, we've got to get this thing out of here then.
No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall confute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Amen.
But the blessing on James is only temporary. As long as the demon remains in his presence, James is at risk.
We'll start the cleansing now. If you can all please take your places.
During the cleansing, Rob has the Bible and he does the prayers. And while he's doing prayers, we start and we'll do the sage and the holy water. You're up against the spiritual world, and you got to have faith, and you got to believe for these things to work.
Most importantly, when we start, we cannot stop. You have to remain strong and confident. Through the name and the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ, I bind any dark energy, negative spirit, any demonic forces. We rebuke you through the name and the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. You no longer control anyone. You are no longer welcome in this home.
I could feel the energy being sucked from my body. I could feel it just pulling away. That's the demon trying to stop me. He is trying to confuse me, it's trying to disorient me, and it's trying to do whatever it can to stop me.
When we were doing the cleansing, it was watching, and I felt like it was going from room to room with us.
It was real intense what he was doing. It was real intense.
We rebuke you, Satan. We bind you. We cast you behind us. We pitch you under our feet. We cast you back into the pit of hell in Jesus' name.
You're actually the enemy at that point because it knows you were trying to force it from where it wants to be. It doesn't want to leave, but we're trying to make it leave.
We rebuke you through the name and the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. With the power of God, I banish you. With the power of God, I banish you. Through the name and the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ, we rebuke you.
Paranormal investigators are performing a ritual to banish a dangerous entity back into a haunted cabinet.
With the power of God, I banish you. With the power of God, I banish you.
But the demon won't go easily.
The cabinet door flipped open.
The demon, it was trying to fight back. It was determined it was going to stay.
But there is no stopping now.
Keep praying. Stay focused.
We rebuke you through the name and the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ.
During this process, you have to keep going. Whatever this demon's trying to do, whatever it throws at you, you absolutely cannot stop. You have to fight through it.
With the power of God, I banish you. With the power of God, I banish you.
Is it gone?
Yes, it is. You're safe now.
It was like flipping a light switch. It was dark and gloomy, and you flip the light on, it's just bright and vibrant.
After they did the blessing, I could actually talk to James without feeling like he was pushing away from me. It did feel like a cloud lifted.
You could actually feel like, hey, I'm home. You know, I'm back home.
Rob Phillips removes the cabinet from the home, and James and Sandy return to life as usual. In December of 2015, the couple announces they are engaged to be married.
Yeah, we're beyond happy. We're like two kids. So she's got a big heart, you know. She's been through a lot with me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
The experience has definitely changed me and James. It has brought us closer since we have gone through this. I did feel like I got my boyfriend back. I feel like we got our life back.
Here's to new beginnings.
New beginnings.
If you don't believe in it, you know, that's your choice. I didn't believe in it either. But once you live through it, you know, you're gonna wake up real quick. I do now. I do believe in the paranormal now.
But the story is far from over for Rob Phillips. While the cabinet remains in his possession, he still has unfinished business.
I actually have the cabinet now, the demon's contained inside of it. I keep it in storage. I keep it there for protection. I want to make sure that it stays locked where it's locked up at and it's never get into the hands of anyone else.
The demon is not the only entity locked up in the cabinet. The spirit of the cabinet maker is also contained inside.
I would love to be able to free the human spirit that's trapped in there. I'd love to try to cross him over, but I've got to do it without setting this thing out. I can't let that demon get back out.
There are some objects that harbor spirits within them.
When I saw the video, my jaw just fell.
He turns his head and looks at me, and then turns his head back. It was one of the creepiest things I have ever seen.
And when that spirit is angry,
Fear me.
It said, "Fear me," through the ghost box.
it will stop at nothing to get what it wants.
I'm literally having a heart attack. Norman was trying to kill me to get rid of me.
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
My name is Stephen Lancaster. I am a paranormal investigator. I have seen a lot of things, but never seen anything like this. There was definitely the beginnings of a haunting. I just couldn't predict exactly how far it would go.
Off the coast of North Carolina sits the small town of Beulahville, home to paranormal investigators Stephen and his fiancée, Christina.
I had met Christina in the field of paranormal research at a class I was teaching. She was one of the students.
Let me know if you need assistance or have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Me and Stephen were friends for years before we started dating. We loved to go to antique stores and find rare and unusual things. I look for anything that calls out to me. It has to have some kind of feeling for me.
Suddenly, something catches Stephen's eye.
I just happened to look up and it stood out to me. It was this high chair with a wooden box sitting in it.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I wonder what's inside.
Looks like someone doesn't want us to find out. The lock's been sawed off.
Somebody had popped the lock out, so there was no way to unlatch the lock. This is definitely something somebody didn't want anybody into. So I pulled out this little pocket knife. I always carry a pocket knife with me.
What are you doing?
Don't you want to find out what's inside?
Shimmied it inside and just pried the thing open.
Oh, man.
There was this ugly doll inside.
This thing is creepy.
I've always had a fascination with dolls. I'd collect dolls. I have a bunch of them, but it was the kind of thing that I like. I don't like just any doll, it's older dolls. I just think they have a lot of character.
He'd fit right into our collection. What do you think?
Let's do it. Welcome to the family. Whatever your name is. I'd like to buy this. What I really want is the doll.
The dealers recognize the doll right away. Although it's for sale, knowing the doll's history, they've tried to hide it.
One of them just looked at us funny, and she made some mumbly remark, and the other one said, well, I don't know that you really want that doll.
At first, the ladies at the counter were very reluctant, I guess would be the word to use.
This doll had a very sad start in life. And, oh, I won't bother you with it.
Oh, no, please do. We love anything with a past.
It's a very sad story.
She said, anywhere this thing's at, sadness comes with it.
Years ago, there was a pregnant woman, and this particular doll was given to her as a congratulations gift, you know, shortly before she had birth.
She was pregnant with twins. The male baby was born, stillborn. The female lived. She took the doll and the female child home.
The mother was totally devastated. She was overcome with grief over the loss of her baby boy. Just 6 years later, that same mother died very tragically in a house fire. And the doll remained with the girl twin.
Years later, the same girl brought the doll to the shop and gave it to these two old ladies.
I think maybe that was closure for her, that she was saying goodbye to this.
Despite the doll's sad past, Stephen and Christina purchase him for their collection.
I'm glad he'll have a good home. Be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fits right in. What should we name him?
I was thinking Norman. He looks like neither doll nor man. Norman.
It's just me. Calm down. What are you guys doing?
I'm a mother of 5. Hannah is my youngest. She still lives at home.
Oh, God. What is that?
This is Norman. He's the newest member of our family.
Wow. You guys are so weird. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you actually kept him as far away from me as possible, so...
They know I don't like dolls, and especially that type of doll, because that's just creepy.
I heard somebody pounding at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Instantly, I am up and wide awake, heart pounding through my chest.
What was that?
We heard this really loud boom. It sounded like loud drumming, but it was like bam, bam, bam.
It's the middle of the night. I'm trying to sleep, my family's trying to sleep.
Someone's at the front door.
There was panic behind those knocks.
It's 4 in the morning.
I'll go check it out.
It wasn't tap, tap, tap like a Girl Scout selling cookies. It was bam, bam, bam.
Just stay here. I'll be right back.
There was quite a bit of anxiety. What if somebody's down there and they have a gun, or, you know, I didn't know what their intentions were.
I walked down into the stairs and I'm thinking, the knocks were in series of threes. That was scary. In the field of paranormal research, any series of three typically relate to an evil force.
Who's out there? What do you want?
Stephen Lancaster has been suddenly roused from sleep by knocks on his front door at 4 a.m.
When I opened the door, I saw nothing. I could see as far out as the darkness would let me see, but there was nobody there. At first, I tried to be rational about it. It's a prank, it's dark.
Oh my God! You scared me to death.
Who was it?
No one. No one was there. Maybe just some neighborhood kids.
At 4 in the morning?
I don't know.
I was just wondering, what in the world? Who was this person that was at my door and what did they want?
Alarmed, the couple purchases a multi-camera surveillance system.
Our cameras were installed scattered throughout the house. One was on the front porch where it would pick up anybody's face if they were knocking on the door.
It was there to provide answers for me. A camera doesn't lie. Inside and out, there wasn't a piece of ground that you could not see on the surveillance, and the only areas we were blind to on the inside was Hannah's bathroom and her bedroom.
Hello?
I thought it was Mom because she'll come in and like grab something from my bathroom while I'm taking a shower or something.
Hello? Mom?
She looked petrified. She looked more scared than I've ever seen her in her entire life.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. You believe me, right?
I believe you think you saw something.
How can you not believe me?
We searched the house to make sure nobody was in the house. And then we just tried to reassure her the best you can to a 16-year-old child.
But the 4 a.m. visit and Hannah's encounter in the shower have left the family on edge. One afternoon, Christina's grandchildren, 11-year-old Amy and 8-year-old Adam, come by the house.
Stephen sometimes would babysit my grandchildren while I was at work and their parents were at work and school.
I'm kind of a convenience for them because I work from home.
Who's that?
When the grandchildren came over that day, the first thing they went to was Norman.
He's a doll we bought at an antique store.
Cool. Can I play my game?
Sure. Got some work to do anyhow, so you guys can hang out in here with me for a little bit.
Norman wants to know if he can watch TV too.
Guess that's okay.
Adam, he wanted him, you know, he wanted to play with him. I just let them do their thing. You know, Adam watched TV, Amy played on her tablet, and I just continued working.
I've got to grab something from the other room. You guys stay here. What's going on?
The doll. He moved by himself.
What do you mean the doll moved by itself?
I initially thought she did it. They're storytellers, they're kids, they do what kids do. Come on, what does this thing do, jump off the bed? So I said, we're gonna do something. We're gonna watch this surveillance, and if I see either one of you two grab that doll, I'm gonna have to talk to your mama.
You two think you're so funny.
Stephen goes back to the moment before he left the room, when he was sitting at his desk and Norman was sitting on the bed. Suddenly, he sees it.
He turns his head and looks at me. And then turns his head back. It was one of the creepiest things I have ever seen.
Stephen Lancaster has just recorded proof the doll he bought at an antique shop and named Norman is haunted.
When I pulled that surveillance clip up, that was one of the creepiest things I have ever seen. This doll cannot physically do that. I still cannot get over it.
Stephen shows the video to his fiancée, Christina.
When I saw the video, my jaw just fell.
I don't know what to think. I mean, how can a doll move on his own?
If anybody else ever told me that they had a doll that did that, I would have thought they were crazy. You know, you can't imagine things like that. Even seeing him sit on the bed behind the kids and move his head, I had no idea the things that Norman could do.
Suddenly, Stephen recalls what the salesperson told him when he and Christina bought the doll. She believes it's haunted.
Years ago, this pregnant woman was given this very doll just before she gave birth. She had twins.
They told me that the original owner of the doll had a visitor, a family member, a friend, brought this doll to her as a gift. She went into labor. The first baby was a stillborn, which would have been the brother of the two, and the second baby survived, which was the little girl.
And she was overcome with grief over the loss of her baby boy. So she was convinced that the boy's spirit lived on inside this doll.
That explains why it looks like hell.
Anything that comes from hell is bound to look like hell.
There are a lot of wives' tales and a lot of fake stories that go around. I figured it was just two old ladies just spinning a little yarn for us, but little did I know.
Do you think they were telling us the truth? That Norman is haunted by that twin baby boy?
Oh my God! How is any of this okay? You guys are talking about this like it is nothing. And meanwhile, we are gonna wake up to him stabbing us in our beds.
Hannah, you're being dramatic.
Am I, Mom? You saw the video!
That Norman could move on his own made me really uneasy. If Norman can move, does that mean he can do other things?
Why are you acting like I'm crazy for thinking Norman is evil?
Honey, we don't think you're crazy. We just don't know what Norman is yet. And we just can't jump to...
No. I am not talking about this anymore. This entire thing is crazy. I'm going to my room. I wish that you would get rid of that monster of a doll.
My greatest fear about Norman is falling asleep and waking up and him being over top of me. I was asleep and my blanket started pulling down. The covers started getting yanked harder and harder. I felt someone sit on the edge of my bed, and then someone started crawling towards me.
Mom.
Hannah Parker is convinced a doll named Norman is behind the haunting experiences in her house.
I was like, no, this is not happening. I felt someone sit on the edge of my bed, and then someone started crawling towards me.
Mom. Hannah, oh my God, what happened? Somebody was in my room. I felt them crawling towards me on the bed.
It's okay. Oh, poor baby. It really freaked me out. I can't imagine the terror she had to feel.
There's no one in here.
I know what I felt. There was a man and he was in my bed.
Maybe it was a dream.
I'm not dreaming. It's that doll. That doll is behind all of this. It's evil and it's trying to kill me.
She was really shaken up. And she's a tough girl. She really is. You just don't mess with Hannah.
I'm not sleeping in here again.
Okay. You can sleep in the guest room. Come on.
Seeing how upset she was, Christina and I decided to let Hannah go stay with one of her older brothers for a while until we could get a better grasp on what's going on.
Determined to get to the bottom of things, Stephen contacts a fellow paranormal expert.
So this must be Norman.
My name's Darren Evans. My specialty is pretty much spirit communication, demonology, hauntings, that kind of stuff. When he sent me the video, I saw the head move. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, this is something going on here. You know, it doesn't make much sense. So he was, he was onto something. But Stephen's always pretty skeptical of everything. He doesn't like to just automatically assume something is the paranormal.
Do you mind taking some notes?
Yeah.
I want to conduct a couple tests. I'm gonna check his temperature first. 74 degrees is the temperature of the room. I'm not seeing any signs of Norman. Wait. It's dropping. I've never dealt with anything like this before.
The temperature test. That blew my mind. There was some sort of manifestation, some form of spiritual energy inside of this doll, able to affect the temperature, the environment.
Darren, Christina, and Stephen decide to further investigate Norman using a ghost box, a device which allows spirits to speak through radio frequencies. Since the doll was in a fire, Darren taunts him to elicit a response.
Obviously, Norman's been burnt, and so I took a flame and held it to Norman's face, just pretty close, but not I don't want to hurt Norman, of course.
No. Holy The flame is triggering interaction. This is amazing.
Norman, what do you think about Stephen?
Die.
What does Darren have in his hand?
Hear me.
It said, "Fear me," through the ghost box, and I'm like, okay.
Can you turn the light on, Norman? No.
The communication was just crazy. It was just insane, the amount of answers that we were getting from Norman.
If you can't turn the light on, do something else.
There's nobody in the hallway.
What?
There's nobody in the hallway. What was that?
My camera's been recording. Sounds like somebody.
Try to open the door. There's nobody out there.
That was plain as day. It was like, do.
I'd never experienced that level of interaction with a haunted object in my life. That doll has a spirit attachment. My advice to people is if you feel like something is evil, unless it's worth $1 million or something, is to get rid of that object or give it away or get it out of your environment.
There's no time to waste. Stephen finds a woman online with an interest in haunted dolls and tells her everything about Norman. Despite the potential danger, the woman agrees to buy him. For Christina, it's not a minute too soon.
I believe that story from the antique store. That
That woman's baby boy spirit is what's inside of Norman.
I had to believe that maybe it was the spirit of this child that was stillborn. I had no other reason to believe it was anybody else.
I think he's looking for another mother. Me. And he won't stop until he has me.
That's why he targeted Hannah and me. To get rid of us. And have you all to himself.
I really, truly did start to believe that he wanted me out of the picture. I think that he wanted me gone. I think he felt he was going to intimidate me in a way to where I would leave, and he would have the mother he always wanted.
Over the next few days, the family senses a certain peace in the house.
Feels different in here without Norman, doesn't it? Better. Happier.
You know when the humidity is so strong, it makes it hard to breathe? That's what it was like living with Norman. When he was gone, it felt like just crystal clear, clean air.
I'll go see who that is.
No.
All I could think was, you gotta be kidding me. That cannot be what I'm thinking that is.
The woman who was to take Norman claims she never received him. No one from the post office is able to verify why or how he's come back.
There was absolutely no explanation as to why the doll was returned.
I am not an angry person. I am an extremely laid-back person, but I lost my damn mind.
Why are you doing this to us? What do you want? Leave us alone! We don't want you here!
Oh my God, Steven!
After attempting to rid their North Carolina home of a haunted doll, it returns and sets its sights on owner Stephen Lancaster.
Leave us alone! We don't want you here!
The room started to spin, and then all of a sudden I could feel it in my chest. I was scared to death. I'm literally having a heart attack.
What was going through my mind was, oh my God, I just don't know what to do. What if something happens to him?
Wait, come on, honey, talk to me.
I knew it was Norman.
Please, pick up.
Norman was trying to kill me to get rid of me. I tried to get rid of him. It was his turn. He was trying to get rid of me.
The couple is beyond terrified. But before they can figure out a way to get rid of Norman, they are faced with a new problem, one capable of making the haunted doll even more dangerous, a Category 5 hurricane.
Our area is often highly affected by hurricanes, tropical storms. When a storm hits, it could at least be 2 weeks before you can get to a main road.
The belief is that the ionic energy in a storm can help fuel any paranormal activity.
When you're talking about a hurricane, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
I've been through a lot of hurricanes. Power goes out, it's no big deal.
Stephen, I'm scared.
But when the lights went out during Hurricane Matthew, my heart fell into my stomach. And all I could think was, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
I hear like a whisper. I jerked my head. It was right in my ear.
What was that?
It's coming from upstairs.
Where were you going?
Let's check it out. Come on.
I was mostly afraid of something physical happening to Christina or myself because there would have been nothing we could do.
Let's go check out the bedroom.
I was expecting Norman to make his move. And part of me hoped he would, so I could see exactly what is inside this doll.
After gathering proof that their doll Norman is haunted, video of the doll's head turning on its own, audio of the doll's voice captured on a ghost box.
What do you think about Stephen?
Die.
Stephen and Christina attempt to capture evidence that a spirit is attached to the doll.
What the hell was that?
No, he was standing right there in the mirror. I saw him right there. He was right there.
When I saw that figure, it scared me to death.
I got him. I got a picture of him.
When I looked down and I saw that picture, I thought, this is it. This is the guy. This is who's been in Norman. This is who's been haunting us.
I do believe that what we saw that night was a manifestation of Norman.
Stunned, the couple comes up with a plan. Since they haven't been able to get rid of the doll, they decide to make peace with its spirit by giving him his own room.
I think this is actually gonna work.
I was hoping for closure when it came to creating a room for Norman.
I was hoping that that room would give Norman some normal in his life that would make him feel like he was part of a family.
Norman missed out on everything in life. He never got a chance to live. Hopefully this will give him what he wants. Hopefully this makes him happy.
The couple has developed a theory as to who inhabits Norman. They believe the spirit of the baby boy who died during childbirth is now a grown man.
If this infant that passed at birth, if his energy transferred to this doll, would he remain infantile for the rest of existence? Or, by observation, would he age mentally? We read books, we play video games, we learn things every day from observation. It's very possible that there's a 56-year-old man inside this doll if he is aged mentally simply by observation.
Think he likes his new room? His own room?
I do.
I think he's probably angry because he's stuck inside a doll. His whole life has been seen through the eyes of this doll.
A childhood, growing up, his first kiss, his first girlfriend, his first job. He just has to sit back and watch everybody else enjoy those things. And I think with that comes a lot of spite.
It's now been 2 years since the couple moved the doll into his own room, and it appears his spirit is alive and well.
Things calmed down. There were no more tantrums, as I like to call them, after he moved into his room. There were times that I could hear what sounded like a little giggle come from the room. I thought I heard the rocking chair rocking. And then you could hear what sounded like little footsteps in the room.
I would just creep up and just put my ear to the door, and I would hear things moving around in there. It became few and far between, it just quieted down. It was just out of sight, out of mind at that point.
As for the family, they have become true believers that haunted objects exist.
My experiences with Norman has changed me a lot. Before this, I would have never subscribed to the idea of haunted dolls.
I believe in a lot of things I didn't believe in before because Norman has made me a believer.
The way I feel about Norman now is it's just a part of our life now. He's just gonna be there and there's nothing you can do about it.
So far, I think we're closer to peace for all.